All right, welcome everyone to a lean canvas. This is like the second step in our process when we really get down to evaluating whether a idea is worth pursuing. So today we're looking at the fact that Slack has no Pomodoro app built for pair programming. So at the last place I worked, we pair programmed, which just means you work side by side with someone basically all day, and you switch between being a driver who writes the code and being a navigator who like helps out and watches the other person code and makes suggestions and thinks about the bigger picture. So it's a really interesting way to program. One of the downfalls of it is that it can be really easy to just crank and work longer than you probably should in one sitting. So that's where Pomodoro is really nice because it gives you nice breaks. The problem I was having was that I could have a Pomodoro timer, but it would only alert me. And I was like, well, why can't I have a Slack Pomodoro app that says, hey, coworker, I'm now taking a break, or that even changes your status? Like there's applications for this outside of pair programming where it's like, yeah, I'm on a break. Please wait 5 minutes to contact me, or mute my notifications for 5 minutes, or reach out to this person at like once I do my break and say, hey, I'm taking time off, like making it multi-personal and adding visibility. That was kind of my idea. Yeah.
Mhm. Yep. So then
I guess
existing
these
alternative would just be like an individualized uh, plugin or
Yep.
messaging.
Yep.
So yeah,
And then I
either
guess
leave your partner in the dark or manually let them know.
when the hard thing too about Pomodoro is like not everyone likes doing this. Not everyone likes to take breaks, which is kind of strange. And so externalizing this to a third party is nice because you can say, oh, my Slack app is telling me to take a break rather than just like, I'm going to take a break.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so solution is an app that lets your partner know when you're taking a break. Or, well, an app that like automatically and intelligently lets people know. I'm going to say that lets other people know because it'd be nice to let. And there's like lots of ways you can implement that, but that's the idea, the big idea. So um, we do all the
And
we include
UVP.
UVP. Yep.
Yep.
Um, what's the unique value proposition? Like, I guess really the unique value proposition is this is a social, like multi-personal. Like it, yeah, more than one person. And then the high level concept is like Pomodoro timer for teams. Does that
Yeah.
work?
Yeah.
And then let's rate that then. I I think I have my rating. Do you have yours?
Yeah.
I think it's a 1.
I give it a 0.
Yeah. I give it a 1 because it's such a clear problem. Like this is a really hyper focused niche.
Yeah. I guess it's a really clear problem. I think it's just very, I have never really experienced that. So I guess sort of take my thought with a grain of salt. More to those viewing, because we need to follow a process.
Yeah. Because I sometimes the roles are reversed.
Yep.
Um okay, unfair advantage I think it's a tiny niche. That's the unfair advantage.
Yep.
Nobody is going to come after this. Okay, I have my
Which is
rating.
that an advantage?
Um, I think so. I think it's like it reminds me, I mean, this is much smaller scale, but like, oh, what was it? People will often dismiss very small niches until they grow much larger.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, okay. What's your rating here?
Oh, I'll give it a 1.
That's what I was give it a 2. I actually do think that's like an underrated advantage, is people thinking it's stupid.
Oh, I think we
But
had um our notifications one. We talked about that being a small niche, and I
yeah, you're
think
right.
that is an advantage. Whereas I think this one is, I'm not convinced that it being small is advantageous.
Hmm. I just think about in terms of like search terms in Slack.
Mhm.
So like this again, like there's this great article a while back that talked about how like platforms are search engines and
Mhm.
ranking on small ones is easy. Like
Mhm.
we could rank super high for pair programming Pomodoro on the Slack app
Yeah,
marketplace. Like we could
yeah,
murder in one very specific niche.
that's fair.
So there's pair programmers. There's trying to think of like another. It'd be someone who's like conscious, like Pomodoro users.
Well, I think um it's an issue when there's remote work happening with
Hmm.
people who don't necessarily know each other super well.
It was still an issue.
Yeah,
There's
but I
still,
think,
yeah.
if you sort of slide that lever around, if you have people who are like, have been working together for decades, they wouldn't really need this. But
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I
that's
think
true. I see
about,
what you mean. Yeah.
like consultants who, like, if they're
Oh,
clear, they come in, and they're like, sweet, this is what I do. Here, as you can see, boom. I think that would be just very helpful for their clientele.
yeah. I think an early adopter would be tuple users. I wonder if I still have the tuple app installed. Yeah, here we go. Tuple is my favorite pair programming app. Um, come on, tuple. Yeah. Well, I don't have it anymore. But tuple it would hit pair programmers.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think within tuple you could certainly find Pomodoro users and maybe consultants. Like that triple layer would be killer. If you could
Yeah,
find someone that says, I do pair programming, work Pomodoro, and I'm a consultant, like
yeah,
easy money. And I feel like there's definitely tuple users that are in that.
yeah.
Um, which how did tuple reach their people? Product hunt. That's how I found tuple, I believe.
Well, but then also the channel would be
Oh yeah, just
is
tuple.
on Tuple.
Yeah, like tuple, like yeah. All right, I've got
And
my vote for that. Oh, do you have more?
well, no, it doesn't really matter.
What is it?
Just isn't there, like, using platforms as a search engine?
Oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah, that's a
What
really good.
you were just advocating for.
Okay, I'm ready to vote.
Yeah, I give it a 1.
I'm gonna give it a 2. I think this is pretty clear. I don't know if it exists necessarily, which
Mhm.
would probably pull me back to a 1, but I don't know. I feel like this would be very the customer the customer segment's clear. The
Mhm.
solution is separate. Like, yeah, I need to keep those separate in my head. Cost structure. I don't. I do not think. there is any cost associated with this.
Development costs.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But I don't think we need to do marketing or advertising. I don't think. I guess the one thing that concerns me is if we had to have um, a server running this, like that could start to run up costs.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think if we would need that though. I would have to dig more into the API. Revenue stream, I don't know that you can charge on on Slack. So you can add, well, you can't charge directly through it. Like it's not like a app store where you can say, oh, our app is 99 cents. Like you'd have to say, oh, here's it. But what I think could be cool is a freemium version that then turns this into like a timer and says, here's how you spent your time and here's who you spent your time with and like those kind of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's not really super, yeah, compelling. All right, what do you have here? Do you know your answer? Because I think I know mine.
Yeah. I give it a 0.
I give it a 1.
I just don't. Yeah. Not super well versed in this, and seeing doesn't immediately all click to me.
Yeah.
I think parts of it make
Oh,
sense.
this is a red, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does this end up at 3.5? Is that so? 2.5. Yeah, 3.5. Which again, I think it's just the right move. Like I feel like so for those that don't know, like back when I was really into the startup game, I would like I had this site called customdinnerplates.com. Like I spent like 6 hours on it and then realized it was a terrible idea. I feel like this would be one of those same things where I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna, really make this happen. And I'd spend like 10 hours on it and just never use it. And it would probably just be a time suck, even if it did get successful. Because I think this freemium is
Yeah.
not going to work. I would not pay for this, and I am the target audience.
Yeah.
It's not bad to have something out there, just to have something out there. Like that's one thing, but as a product, like pretty terrible, I think.
Yeah. I think like that's the kind of thing that's like the the mint at the fancy hotel. You can't, it's not good enough to sell, but it'd be nice to get someone
Yeah.
to stay at your hotel. It's like, oh, they've got the nice mints.
It's a good, yeah.
A little bit of a weird analogy.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I'm gonna throw hobby on here just because this might be something I find interesting.
Yep.
And I've always wanted to build a Slack app, so I think that'd be fun. But I don't know. Wow, oh, this was the old feasibility and expertise. That's how that passed, because this wouldn't have passed with our new setup. All right. Cool. Well, thank you for joining us, and thank you for watching us kill another idea. If you like it, let us know, and maybe I'll build it in my spare time. So, all right, take care, folks.